This is Joan Hall, aka Joan the Choir Lady, and what I'm talking about today is ways that directors can change a song to fit their particular choir ministry. This past Sunday we had a special service. It was a Women's Day service, and our women's choir sang, and the presentation was really great. It was a blessing to the service. There were two songs that we sang, and both of them I had to make some changes to make them a good fit. Some of the alterations were practical, technical things, and some of the alterations were based on spiritual issues and ideas. So there was some Mary stuff and some Martha stuff that had to be changed. And I'm going to talk about what I did and ways that, you can change songs if something isn't quite right for what you want to do, how you can change them. The theme of the service that we were having dealt with spiritual warfare. So I picked songs that fit in with that idea of spiritual warfare. The first song we did was a classic, There's a War Going On, by Walter Hawkins. There's a war going on. And on that song, the main thing that had to be adapted was the lead vocal. And this is something that choir directors will face sometimes. You have a song that you want to do, and the lead part is kind of different from what your lead singer is able to do. Some lead singers have a lot of experience with adapting songs themselves. They know how to alter the riffs and the notes and all of that to fit their voice. So if you have an experienced lead singer, they can do that on their own, and it's great. But sometimes if you have a lead singer that doesn't have that kind of experience, they might have the idea that they're supposed to sing the lead exactly like the recording, every high note and every run and everything, and they'll feel like, well, I can't do this, I can't sing this song. So what you may need to do as a director is work with them and show them how to adapt the song. I got together with my lead singer and had some practices just with her, and I worked out a way that the lead part could be adapted for her voice, and I showed her, you can sing this line this way and sing this line that way, so that she doesn't have to hit all of Lynette Hawkins's notes. And it worked out really well. It worked fine. So that was the one song. And the other song that we did was on the topic of spiritual warfare, Tear It Down by the Gospel Tabernacle Choir. And there were two things on that one that I needed to change. One is that the song has a lot of unison, or things really where the choir sings in octaves, a high octave and a low octave. For the women's choir that we were using, the low octave was too low for the women to sing, and the high octave would have been too high. So on that one, had to change the key. So we changed it to a lower key where everybody could sing the same note. And key changing is something that very often you will need to do with songs. A lot of gospel artists have backup singers or choirs that can sing really, really high. And they will make use of that and put things in very high keys that often will not work for our church choirs. And there's no shame in dropping the key. The people that sing with that artist are not going to be at your church, so key it for your singers, not them. So we changed the key. And then the other thing that's a part of that song is they have a lead part that is very kind of street sounding, like he's kind of trash talking the devil and so forth, and I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't the way that we wanted to represent it. Not passing judgment, but we left out the lead completely. We did it with no lead. And at the end of the song, there's this thing that sounds kind of like a party chant, and we left that out too. Because of that, because we weren't doing their ending, I had to make up a different ending, like how we're going to end the song if we're not doing their ending. So sometimes to alter a song, you may have to do a little bit of composing. Make a different ending or make something to take the place of something that you're taking out. There are times that I have written new verses. If there's a song that I really like the song, but there was something about the lead verse that didn't feel right, write a new verse. In fact, I'm going to link to a video I made about a verse that I wrote for a particular song, a John P. Key song. I'll link that over somewhere there. So with those changes, the song had a big impact on the service. I'm so glad that I didn't just say, well, I don't want to do that song because I don't like this thing or that thing. I'm so glad that I changed the song to make it work, because it was really a big part of the service that we had this Sunday. It was really great. So when you get comfortable with that, with adapting songs and altering them, you'll be able to do a lot of songs that you would have had to take a pass on otherwise. So it brings a lot more music to your repertoire, a lot more things you can have in your bag. So I encourage you to be open to that and work on learning how to adapt a song to fit for you. Never feel an obligation to do a song exactly the way it was recorded. The person that wrote the song is not going to be there at your service. You don't owe them anything. You owe God, and you owe your choir, and you owe your congregation the best that you can offer them in ministry. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.